So Chinese forced modernization will continue, absolutely no doubt. And we've seen some indications that the gear that China is producing is working pretty well. Their electronics are going into Russian ordnance that's being used in the Ukraine war effectively. We saw Chinese EW equipment being used by the Pakistanis against the Indians earlier this year effectively. So we see Chinese ships in the South China Sea even crashing into each other, and the damage on those ships being quite modest, which would suggest that the quality of the shipbuilding that's coming out of China is of a high standard. Little examples that perhaps the gear that's being produced is actually of a pretty good quality. China obviously hasn't fought a war since the late 70s against the Vietnamese, and that was more artillery and small arms than it was sophisticated interoperability in this day and age. Biden in his term and to the Trump administration to date, that our willingness to equip Taiwan with the gear that they need has significantly expanded. So we are in a permissive environment in respect to security assistance, perhaps through the optics of training, where 5, 6, 7 years ago, it would be unimaginable that we would have Taiwan personnel, bar the aircraft training for the F-16 program, that we'd have a Taiwan battalion-sized training going on in Michigan with the National Guard. And equally, American forces training Taiwanese forces on Taiwan to improve that. That's a material engagement, but it's also a political decision. So we've seen the politics of it shift, and then we've also moved into a permissive environment for material support. Arms sales would be, the best nomenclature.